In this video, I'll be talking about a few miscellaneous integrals. So, the first of them is dx by x square plus 9. Whenever you see something like x square plus a square in the denominator, you should always think about substituting x is equal to a tan theta. So, since 9 is equal to 3 square, a has to be 3. So we'll substitute x is equal to 3 tan theta. I gave you the reason why we have to do so, because we need to use the identity sec square plus tan square theta plus 1 is equal to sec square theta. So if you have a square here, you will need to multiply a square tan square theta, so that you can bring out a square as common out of these terms, and you'll be left with a square tan square theta plus 1. So that is the reason why we put a tan theta in the substitution. So in order to do this integral, we'll be using this substitution x is equal to 3 tan theta. So after you have done that, one more thing that you have to remember is you should always be first calculating dx in terms of d theta. So dx will be 3, the derivative of tan theta is x square theta and d theta. And now x square plus 9 is equal to 3 square tan square theta plus 9, which is equal to 9 times tan square theta plus 1. So this is 9 sec square theta. So we substitute these values in the integral, and we'll get integration dx by x square plus 9 is equal to uh, dx is 3 sec square theta d theta, and x square plus 9 is 9 sec square theta. So we are left with So we are left with 1 by 3 integration d theta. So this is theta by 3 plus c. But then again, theta is, from this we can conclude that theta is 1 by 3 tan inverse x. So we'll write down 1 by 3. Tan inverse x by 3 is theta. So we'll write down 1 by 3 tan inverse x by 3 plus c. So this is our final answer. So now let's look at another example, dx by x square plus 9 whole square. So you might be tempted to use partial fractions here, but it doesn't work. Whenever you have something like this, you should always remember x square plus a square. So you should be using the substitution x is equal to a tan theta. So what will be the value of a? Since we know that a square is equal to 9, so a is equal to 3. So we'll use x is equal to 3 tan theta. This will be our substitution. So from this we can calculate that dx is equal to 3 sec square theta d theta. This is the value of dx, and x square plus 9 whole square is equal to 9 tan square theta plus 9 whole square. So this is equal to 81. Tan square theta plus 1 is sec square theta whole square. So this is 81 sec 4 theta. So next, dx by x square plus 9 whole square is equal to, uh, instead of dx we'll have to substitute 3 sec square theta d theta. Next we have x square plus 9 whole square, which is equal to 81 sec 4 theta, which we have calculated. So this thing is equal to 1 by 27 1 by sec square theta d theta. So which again is equal to 1 by 27 cos square theta d theta. So we have integration 1 by 27 cos square theta d theta. So remember, when we have even power of trigonometric functions, we need to when we have an even power of trigonometric function, let's like sine square or cos square, we need to use the power reducing formula. The power reducing formula states that cos square theta is equal to 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2. So this will be equal to 1 by 54 integration 1 plus cos 2 theta d theta. And so this is equal to the integration is equal to theta by 54 plus the integration of cos 2 theta is sin 2 theta by 2. So we'll have 54 into 2 is 108 plus c. But then again, uh, theta is equal to, as we remember, the substitution that we used was x is equal to 3 tan theta. So that means tan theta is equal to x by 3. So we can use theta is equal to tan inverse x by 3. So we'll have 1 by 54 tan inverse x by 3 plus. So we need to convert this sine 2 theta in terms of x. So how can we do that? Well, we know the value of tan theta. So we want to compute the value of sine 2 theta. So remember that uh, so we'll need to get this in terms of theta. So how do we do that? We need to convert sine 2 theta in terms of theta, in terms of functions of theta. Then we'll need to use the formula that sine 2 theta is equal to 2 sine theta cos theta. And then since we know the value of tan theta, we can compute the value of sine theta and cos theta. So I'll put the triangle here. We know that tan theta is x by 3, so this is x and this is 3. So this will be square root x square plus 3. So x square root x square plus 9. So from this we know that sine theta is equal to x by square root x square plus 9, and cos theta is equal to 3 by square root x square plus 9. So we'll have 2 sine theta. So we know that this is equal to 2 sine theta cos theta by 108 plus c. So this is equal to 1 by 54 tan inverse x by 3 plus this is 1 by 54. So value of sine theta is x by square root x square plus 9 times the value of cos theta is sorry, sin theta was x by square root x square plus 9, and cos theta from this triangle is equal to 3 by square root x square plus 9. So cos theta is 3 by square root x square plus 9 and then plus c. So the final answer that we'll get is 1 by 54 tan inverse x by 3 plus so 327. So we'll have 1 by 27 x by x square plus 9 plus c. So this is our final answer. So that is how you need to solve this problem. So there is an homework problem in which you want to integrate dx by x square plus 4 whole square. So the substitution here will be x is equal to 2 tan theta, and then you can go about this way to solve it. So now let's look at another problem. So the following problem, y square plus 5 by y square plus 4 dy. So remember that whenever we want to integrate a polynomial, the ratio of two polynomials, we'll learn how to integrate when degree of p is less than degree of uh, q. However, sometimes when and also when degree of p is greater than degree of q, we'll learn how to integrate such functions. When, however, when the degree of the two polynomials are same, you can use a simple trick that I'll show you. So y square plus 5 by y square plus 4 dy. So this can be written as the idea is that I want to express the numerator in terms of denominator so that I can simplify this function. So this can be written as y square plus 4 plus 1 by y square plus 4 dy. So this can be written as y square plus 4 by y square plus 4 plus 1 by y square plus 4 dy. So then again, these two cancel out. So we'll have 1 1 plus 1 by y square plus 4 dy. So this can be written as integration dy plus integration dy by y square plus 4. So now you can use the substitution y is equal to 2 tan theta here. After you use y is equal to 2 tan theta here, you can simplify this integration and you'll get the answer as y plus. So remember, if you want to remember, it will be easier to integrate without going into much detail. The integration of dx by x square plus a square is always 1 by a tan inverse x by a. So you can try to remember that. So this integration is 1 by 2 tan inverse y by 2 plus c. So how do we get this formula? Well, it's just the same. You use the substitution x is equal to a tan theta, and then substitute complete the problem. Sorry, u is equal to a tan x, and then you can complete this problem. So now let's look at another problem. So here sometimes the ratio of two polynomials are easy to solve. They are easy to solve when the derivative of the denominator somehow appears in the numerator. In that case, it is much easier to solve. You don't need to factorize anything, or you don't need to apply partial fraction. So you should always be open to different kinds of solutions. Instead of practicing one method more and more, you can look for various other techniques to integrate functions so that you can solve questions quickly rather than wasting a time on a simple on a one technique. So what I mean to say here is that of course you can always apply partial fractions here, but there's a much easier way to do this. So suppose so when the degree of the numerator is greater than the degree of denominator, when such a thing happens, always you should divide this numerator by denominator using the long division method in polynomials. So if you know the long division method in polynomials, it is the following: you write the denominator as the dividend, as the divisor, and the numerator as the dividend, and whatever appears here on the top is the quotient, and whatever, if the degree of the remainder is less than this, then this will never divide. So then you can express this function in terms of this plus some remainder. So what I'm trying to say is, if you multiply x here, we want the power x cube here, and we have x square in the divisor, so we need to multiply with x so that these two terms will cancel out, and see what happens to the rest of them. So we want to subtract them, so this coefficients will become minus of each other. So x cube minus x cube is 0, 6x square minus 6x square is 0, and 2x minus x is plus x, and we can borrow this 3 down here. So since this will be the remainder, because the degree of this polynomial is 1 and the degree of the divisor is 2. So 1 is less than 2, that means this can never divide this. So that is why the division stops here. So that means x cube plus 6x square plus 2x plus 3 can be written as x times the divisor, which is x square plus 6x plus 1 plus x plus 3. So this is much like the Euclidean lemma, like for example, if you want to divide 7 by 2, you will never be able to divide it exactly. So instead, you will write this down as 2 times 3 plus 1. So that is what is happening here. So this is our polynomial, and this is this. So now, instead of this whole thing here, I can write this as, I can substitute this value because these two are equal. So I can substitute this value in the numerator, and let's see what happens. So we want to integrate dx, sorry, x cube plus 6x square plus 2x plus 3 by x square plus 6x plus 1 dx. And we have noted that x cube plus 6x square plus 2x plus 3 can be written as x square plus 6x plus 1 times x plus 3. So now we'll substitute this in place of the numerator. So x cube plus 6x square plus 2x plus 3 by x square plus 6x plus 1 becomes x square plus 6x plus 1 times x plus 3, this value here, divided by x square plus 6x plus 1. So this can be written as, so I can split the plus here with the denominators. So this is equal to x square plus 6x plus 1 by x square plus 6x plus 1 times x plus 3 by x square plus 6x plus 1. So this can be written as, so these two cancel out since they are non-zero. So this can be written as x plus 3 by x square plus 6x plus 1. So integrating this term here is just the same as integrating this term here. So I'll write down dx everywhere. So integrating this term here is just the same as integrating this term here. So this is easy to integrate. X dx plus, so remember that. So now one may be tempted to apply partial fractions again because this is the ratio of two polynomials. But instead of doing that, you can just notice that you can just notice that the derivative of this term appears in the numerator. So that is what we can use here. So this integration becomes x square by 2 plus. So I'm saying that you can use u is equal to x square plus 6x plus 1. Then du will become 2x plus 6 dx. So du can be written as, if you take the 2 common here, you'll get 2 times x plus 3 dx, and x plus 3 dx already appears in the numerator. So x plus 3 dx can be written as du by 2, and this denominator becomes u. So this is again a simple integration after a u substitution. So this whole integral reduces to x square by 2 plus this becomes du by 2. So I'm writing the 2 outside, and the denominator is already u. So this is nothing but x square by 2 plus half log mod u plus c. So now you can substitute the value of u, which is x square plus 6x plus 1. So you'll obtain um, so you'll obtain the value as x square by 2 plus log half log mod x square plus 6x plus 1 plus c. So this is our final answer. Okay, so in the next video, I'll be teaching how to use partial fractions to integrate the ratio of two polynomials.